How much money should you actually have at 20, 30, 40, 50 and retirement? A lot of the benchmarks online say things like 1 times your salary by 30 or 3 times your salary by 40. But the truth is these numbers can look very different depending on where you live. Because in Australia we have superannuation, we have a HECS system for students and a property market that loves humbling people. So in today's video I'm breaking down exactly what these milestones could look like with a special focus on Australia and what to focus on at each age even if you feel behind. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Queenie and I'm a personal finance creator and I have a license to give general financial advice. But even though I am licensed, keep in mind that anything that we talk about in this video or on this channel is general advice only and not personal financial advice. You can read my full financial services guide in the description. Thank you so much to Pella for sponsoring this video, but I'll talk more about them later in this video. So sit back, relax, grab a drink of your choice. Today I'm drinking hibiscus flower tea and let's dive in. So here's why most benchmarks don't actually work for Australians. If you've watched any of the big YouTube channels, and don't get me wrong, I love them, they'll tell you things like have 1 times your salary saved by 30, 3 times by 40, 6 times by 50, and so on. And that could be great advice if you live in America, but in Australia things work a little differently. For starters, we have compulsory superannuation. Your employer is already putting aside 12% of your pay into your superannuation, and that's money that's growing and compounding without you even having to think about it. Americans do have something similar, but it's not exactly the same because they actively have to choose to opt into their 401ks, and they also have to make sure that it is being invested. We also have a HECS debt system in Australia, which means a lot of Australians in their 20s are carrying a student debt, and this is automatically deducted from their pay. And then there's the property market. The median house price in Sydney is currently around $1.76 million, which is a very different reality in most American cities. It's pretty crazy when you actually look at this graph and see just how much property prices have risen in the past few years. So that's why I wanted to go into detail with the actual Australian data. I'm using 3 main sources today. The first one is the Grattan Institute 2025 Wealth Cheat Sheet. The second one is the ASFA Retirement Standard, and the last one is data from the ATO website. And all of these sources are linked in the description below if you want to dive deeper. But before we get into the age breakdowns, let's do a quick reality check with income. Earning more money doesn't always necessarily make you wealthier if your spending rises with it. A typical full-time Australian worker earns about $90,400 a year, and the median income for all Australian taxpayers is about $55,600 a year. The top 20% earn around $104,000, the top 10% earn $143,000, and the top 1% earn around $375,000. So now let's get into your 20s, which is building the foundation. I actually saw this video and I think it really summarizes your 20s really well. A lot of people think by their 20s they're supposed to have it all figured out. But in reality, when you actually reach your 20s, you're actually in your very first decade of adulthood. So you're technically like a baby adult or a child adult at this point. So it's okay to not have everything figured out in this decade. This decade is really for learning, growing, and exploring, and setting the foundation for the rest of your adult life. And one quick note before we get into the age breakdowns, the super figures I'm sharing are individual super balances, but the net worth figures are household net worth. So they include things like savings, investments, property, and debts across the household. So your 20s is all about laying the groundwork. And these numbers might surprise you because they could be lower than you might think. If we're looking at super, the median balance in your 20s is around $18,000. There isn't really an ASFA target here that I'd stress about because your 20s are more about building the foundation. And if you're in your 20s and you don't own your own home yet, just know that there are so many other people in the same boat. So here are some good things to focus on in your 20s. The first one is building an emergency fund. An emergency fund is from 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved in cash in a high interest savings account or an offset account if you have a mortgage. If you don't have too many commitments and relatively stable income, 3 months might be enough. But if your income varies quite a bit and you have more responsibilities, closer to 6 months might be safer. The next thing is starting investing even if it's small. Even setting aside 5% of your pay can really snowball into something massive over time. And the great thing is the earlier you start, the more that time can really do the heavy lifting when it comes to compound interest. And if you want a simple place to start, the app that I personally use to invest is called Pearler. I personally really love it because they have this automated investing feature, and it really takes the stress out of investing every single month because 20% of my pay is automatically invested and I don't even have to think about it. I also love how this app focuses mainly on long-term investing and ETFs compared to a lot of investing apps that mainly focus on trading. Remember, if you would like to check out Pearler for yourself, you can use my code Queenie for a $20 credit. The next thing to do is to check on your super and make sure that it is appropriately invested for your age. If you're under the age of 45, generally having your super invested in high growth or growth is a good idea. Because you have decades until retirement, you can really wait out the fluctuations in the market. So picking the high growth or the growth strategy could be a smart idea. The portfolio mix is generally 85% to 100% in growth assets like shares and property. Then from ages 45 to 55, it's a good idea to look into a more balanced fund or a conservative growth fund. So the portfolio mix would generally be from 70 to 85% in growth assets and the rest in defensive assets like cash and bonds. And then from ages 55 plus, it might be a good idea to switch into a more conservative option. So this could be from 50 to 70% in defensive assets and smaller allocations in growth assets like shares and property. So the biggest thing in your 20s is not necessarily about the number, but building the habits that will set you up for the rest of your adult life. Next is your 30s, which is really the compounding decade. In your 30s, this is when investing starts to get really exciting. This is usually the decade where your income starts to rise, but so do your responsibilities. Maybe your rent goes up, maybe you're saving for your first home, maybe you've got kids, or maybe you've realized that your lifestyle and your taste has just gotten a bit more expensive. And this is why your 30s matters so much. Because it's not necessarily always about earning more, it's also about trying to keep more of what you earn and make sure that you're putting your money to work. If we're looking at super, the median balance at 30 is around $62,000. And ASFA's rough benchmark at age 30 is around $67,000. And if we zoom out just beyond super, households aged 25 to 40 have a median net worth of around $238,000. So this is the age where your wealth starts to become more than just your super balance, because you might be adding your savings, investments, or potentially even home equity. Remember that your net worth is not just all about super. It also includes your savings, investments, your home equity if you have property, and minus any debt. So if you're in your 30s and you've started building wealth in a few different areas, this is a really good sign. This is also the decade where compound interest starts to become more exciting, because the money that you invested in your 20s is starting to make more money with compound interest. It's kind of like pushing a snowball down a hill. When it starts out, the snowball is really, really tiny, but as you roll it down the hill, it starts to pick up more momentum and it starts to pick up more snow, and then it just gets bigger and bigger over time. That's what I've personally noticed myself. I started investing around 10 years ago, and I can really see that the more money you have invested, the easier it becomes to build wealth. And the hardest part of building wealth is honestly the beginning. Going from $0 to $100,000 is really brutal, but then the next $100,000 gets easier, and the one after that gets even easier. So keep this in mind. And that's why I think it's really important to make sure that you have a really great investment strategy and you're regularly setting aside money to invest. That's why I love using Pearler, especially because they have this automated investing feature. So I basically just set up this automation in Pearler, and then whenever money lands in my account in Pearler, it just gets automatically invested. So it really takes the stress out of investing for me. And if you have the skills to buy something on your phone, then you have the skills to make an investment. I'll show you just how easy it is. So to invest, I simply click here, ASX Invest. Here I can search for the ETF I would like to buy. Some popular ETF combos are VAS, which is the Vanguard Australian Shares Index, and this ETF invests in the top 300 companies on the Australian Stock Exchange. So it will have holdings such as BHP, Commonwealth Bank, CSL, NAB, Westpac, ANZ, and more. VAS pairs perfectly with VGS, which is the Vanguard International Shares ETF. This ETF invests in big international companies outside of Australia. So the top holdings include Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, Google, Tesla, Meta, and more. And the top countries include the US, Japan, UK, Canada, Switzerland, Germany, France, and more. If you prefer ethical investing, there's VETH, which is the Vanguard Ethically Conscious Australian Shares ETF, which is similar to VAS but with an ethical focus. And this ETF pairs nicely with VESG, which is similar to VGS but with an ethical focus. Remember, if you would like to try Pearler for yourself, you can use my code Queenie for a $20 credit. So your 30s are all about making sure that you have a strong strategy for investments, building assets consistently, and creating a long-term wealth plan that actually suits your lifestyle, whether that's investing in property, shares, crypto, or a bit of a mix. Now let's talk about your 40s, when you start building serious momentum. This is the decade where your wealth can start compounding even faster, because by now, hopefully you've had more time earning, investing, paying down debt, and building assets. At 40, the median super balance is around $114,000. And by the time you hit 40, ASFA's rough benchmark is around $168,000 in super if you want to be on track to have a comfortable retirement. And if we zoom out beyond super, households between the ages of 41 to 64 have a median net worth of around $809,000. So for a lot of people, this is when building wealth starts to become a bit more real, although a big chunk of your net worth might already be tied up in property. So your 40s are really about just keeping up that momentum by growing your super, diversifying beyond just one asset class, and making sure your long-term wealth plan is actually taking shape. In your 50s, this is when you start getting retirement ready. This is the decade where retirement stops becoming like a vague idea and starts to feel more real. And I don't mean that in a scary way, because I do feel like a lot of 50-year-olds these days are really healthy, and hopefully by your 50s you'll have many more years of health beyond that. So this is the age where you might start thinking about when you want to fully retire, if you want to work part-time, travel more perhaps, or even downsize. And it's important to really think about these goals, because the lifestyle that you want really determines what you'll actually need to retire. At 50 years old, the median super balance is around $157,000, and ASFA suggests around $296,000 by the age of 50, around $377,000 by the age of 55, and around $496,000 by the age of 60, if you want to be on track for a comfortable retirement. So this is the decade to really get serious about your retirement plan. Check whether your super is on track and work out if there are any gaps that you need to close, because having a high net worth on paper is great, but you also ideally want some flexibility and a plan for how you'll actually use that money. So if your 40s are about acceleration and building up that momentum, your 50s is about really getting in alignment with what you actually want. This is also the decade where you may want to start looking at your superannuation and seeing if you can switch into a more conservative option. So shifting towards 50 to 70% in defensive assets with smaller allocations in growth assets. And then we have retirement. So how much do you actually need to retire comfortably in Australia? According to ASFA, a comfortable retirement costs about $54,840 a year for a single person, or $77,375 for a couple. So for a comfortable retirement, ASFA suggests you would need about $630,000 in super if you're single, or $730,000 as a couple. Remember, it's really important to keep in mind that these numbers are estimated based on somebody who owns their own home outright and isn't renting. So if you are planning to rent in retirement, you do need to adjust these numbers accordingly. And yes, it does sound like a lot of money, but the good thing is with superannuation and time and compound interest, once you have more money in your super, your returns start to make more money and your super balance just grows over time. And when you add in your regular employer contributions on top of that, the snowball can really start to grow. If we look at overall wealth, households aged 65 and over have a median net worth of around $817,000. But again, a lot of that could be tied up in the family home, which is why retirement planning is really important, because it's important to work out cash flow, flexibility, and making sure that you have access to your money when you need it. And here's something most people don't realize. The age pension can be a really decent safety net. A single person gets about $30,600 a year, which isn't a luxury retirement, but it could be a good foundation on top of your super and investments. So here are some practical steps to level up, no matter where you are right now. The first step is to track your net worth. I started tracking my net worth every single month over the past few years, back when my net worth was negative, and it's really amazing to see once you actually start tracking these things, how much your wealth can really snowball and compound. It's really, really motivating. There's also that famous quote which says, "What gets measured gets managed," and I think this is really true and why it's so important to start tracking your net worth if you don't already. To make this even easier for you, I do have a free net worth tracker which you can check out in my description below. Step 2 is tracking your spending. I know it can be really daunting to actually track your spending and see just how much money you've spent, but again, I think it's really important to get mindful of where your money is actually going and make sure you're spending money on the things that genuinely bring you happiness and joy and fulfillment, and the things that you just genuinely need to spend money on. Not gonna lie, I still have some months where I spend way too much money on things that I really shouldn't have spent that money on. But I do feel like it helps me become more mindful about how I'm spending my money, and I do find that I'm making way better decisions these days because I am seeing exactly where my money is going, and it makes me more mindful about the money that I'm spending. So I would highly recommend you do this if you don't already. And the last step is automating your investing. I love having my investments automated because it really just takes the stress out of investing. Thanks so much for watching this video all the way through. Your secret word is train. So write us a comment below with the word train in it just so we know you watched this video all the way through. Thank you. Bye.